every day and every night. Should you go or should you fight? It's okay, just take my hand through it all. You will stay.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are. This is Gail of Gaia, and this is Free Range, where we graze on wild ideas. And today I have with me some wonderful guests who are all working in the spiritual and consciousness development areas. And we're going to have a very exciting talk. But we're going to start today with one of the guests who's going to do well, let me introduce everybody first. I guess that would be the best thing to do. And first up is Victoria Reynolds. Hi, Victoria.
Hi, Gail. So nice to meet you.
So nice to meet you too. And you have some very interesting things to talk about, including Elohim walk-in, as well as an author and a luminary. So you have a lot to share with us. That's wonderful. And then we've had Akura on Free Range before, a wonderful psychic medium and one of the most beautiful angelic voices I've ever heard.
Thank you.
And always very interesting perspectives. And then next we have up Sandra McGillis, who keeps things spiritually simple. And she's going to lead our meditation here in a minute. And then we have the wonderful Kimberly Palm, who is helps people on spiritual journeys, is an author, and has a lot to offer in this discussion. And we're going to just free range it. And Sandra, so why don't you lead the breath meditation to start this off, and for protection and for so everything goes well.
Sure. We'll just take a couple moments, and for our viewers, please be in a quiet and safe space where you can just focus in on the breath. And ladies, if you want to mute so that you don't feel your breath going in and out of the microphone, that's fine as well. So we'll do with an inhale through the nose to the count of 5, pause for 3, and release for 5. And we'll do 3 sets of that. And on the 4th inhale, please visualize the back of your eye sockets just being very gently pulled towards the back of your head during your inhalation. Pause and exhale. And on each inhale, just visualize and feel your eye sockets just very gently being pulled towards the very back of your head, ever so gently. And as you continue with inhales and exhales, feel your body relaxing, and know and trust in the space that you are surrounded by your divine guides, your higher self, by all the galactics, the angelics, by the elementals, and you're supported by all of Mother Earth and Prime Creator, Universal, Planetary Love. And we breathe in Mother, Father, God, the Crystal Sophia, as we just very gently let those eye sockets just be pulled towards the back of the head, allowing us to take a brief moment to stop, drop, sit, connect with our breath, realign our divine antenna to God as we begin these conversations with these beautiful women that have come together for free range. So the next breath, take in and bring yourself back to center. Get acquainted with the room around you. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes, feeling more refreshed and more available to receive information. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We had a brief interruption. I don't know if you were aware of it or not. There was one of the streams didn't connect right away, but, and I'm not sure why. It should be on speaker view as well here, and I'm not sure why this is the way it is at the moment. So anyway, since you're up there, first and foremost, Victoria, it looks like you're going first.
I wondered why I was on this radio. What's really funny about this, so 2 weeks ago, I allowed my 19-year-old daughter to dye my hair purple. So when I was in Sedona, my hair was very purple. And today there's just a little bit, it's a washable color. There's just a little bit of lavender left in it. But all of the lavender around your screen is setting off the lavender in my hair, which I think is kind of cool.
It looks beautiful.
Yes, it does.
Very fun.
Not a problem.
It was a fun experiment.
Well, Victoria, since you're up first, why don't you tell us a little bit about you're an author, and you call yourself a luminary and a Elohim walk-in. Could you explain your experience with that?
Sure. So as I was saying off camera, I just fully stepped out of the spiritual closet, finally decided it was time.
Yes.
I am an angelic walk-in. The type of walk-in that I am is more of a soul step down. So I am Victoria, Elohim of freedom, and I have fully embodied into this body. I've been here actually since birth. So my personality self, as you will, was born into this physical body. And then in about 2012, my personality self started connecting with my higher self, who is Victoria. So for clarification, I was born Margaret. I went by the name Margaret for the past 55 years. Let's put it that way. Let's see. Now everybody knows how old I am. So I went by the name Margaret. In 2010, there was a bridge created between Margaret and Victoria. So at the time, Margaret did not understand that I, Victoria, was her higher self. She started having communication with me and knew that she was channeling Victoria, Elohim of freedom, but didn't realize it took a while for her to understand that she and I are the same being. So in 2012, I started stepping down into this body and started taking over and teaching her how to heal her story. My story. I had a very tumultuous childhood. I was born into a polygamist fundamentalist cult in the mountains of Montana. Polygamist with that. So it was very patriarchal, wow, very strict, and very abusive. So I did experience emotional, physical, spiritual, mental, sexual abuse as a child. And so when I began communicating with my personality self, I taught her how to heal the story. And so that is part of what I teach other people, is how to heal their human story so that they can then create more of a bridge with their spiritual self. And so in 2012, I started embodying. That embodiment was complete on September 6, 2018, when my personality self finally decided to relinquish control of all things and let me take over. So now I'm driving the bus. And then my personality self has decided to take a back seat and let me run the show. And since then, I've been able to completely step all out as who I am here to be. Prior to that, my personality self was using the name Victoria as a pseudonym for all of my books. I've written 4 books and I have now legally taken on the name Victoria Reynolds. My spiritual name is Victoria Elohim of Freedom. I am one of the Elohim creators of this planet, and I am here to help free humanity from the enslavement matrix that he has been in for the last approximately 11,000 years. And that matrix is now starting to melt away. We sliced the veil open, it's been shredded, and now the veil is about to be burned so that humanity can never go back to the fear-based reality that it's been in. So that's why I'm now here on the planet. I've fully stepped into that role. And I just finished another book that's being pitched to publishers right now. And I have another book that is in publishing process right now. So I am a continual author.
Wow. Well, we're going to have another show with just you and I at some point in time. You have absolutely fascinating story and information. Do you think that as we all evolve, that we all are going to merge and be our higher self?
My understanding is that yes, that will be the case. So right now, the way that it works, from my understanding, is that if you imagine a very complex video game where the avatar is just running around and playing the game, but the person who's maneuvering the joystick, if you will, is the higher self. So we're always in communication with our higher self, but it's just there's this illusion of separation. So as the illusion of separation melts away, we'll be able to the higher self will be able to come in and have more of that human experience. And the personality self will no longer feel separate from the higher self. Or right now, what people are doing is channeling their higher self, getting communication from their guides and from source through their higher self. That communication will become more and more and more seamless, and we'll all be able to walk as who we are. So there are a lot of us on this planet. Yes, many of the people on this planet are humans. Some of them are young souls. There are also many, many, many of us on this planet who are angelics, who are benevolent ETs. We've all star seeds. We've chosen to take on these human avatars. All of us, more of us isn't embodied into this body because there's this illusion of separation. Once this illusion of separation is gone, then we'll have a more seamless experience and be able to accept, oh, this is actually who I am. So even though I've known for the last 10 years, this is who I am, I was told I needed to keep this to myself until humanity was ready for me to come out of the spiritual closet. The message I got very clearly a couple of months ago is that humanity is now ready for me to step out as who I am, because now there are enough of humanity that's ready to accept that there are angelics walking around in human form. There are ETs walking around in human form. We look like everyone else. We just, it's just that the higher self decided to have the human experience.
Aren't we? We all came here to help raise the vibration of the planet so that we can get where we want to go. So that's very important. And wow, that's absolutely fascinating. And while you were saying a number of things, I was getting these goosebumps all over. That's my spiritual flag. So that's awesome. And thank you. Let's move on to the, let's see who's next. It looks like Kimberly might be next.
Oh.
Let me find you. Okay. Yeah, there you are. Now, let me see. How do I, excuse me for a minute here because I don't know why it's not letting me switch over to, Kimberly should be in. I'm going to bring you out for a minute. Okay. I haven't worked with this many on this platform before, so forgive me for this, but I'm going to take Victoria off for a minute. Oh, and then Akura came up. So I'm going to take you off for the moment and see if I can find Kimberly. And of course, she's going to be the last one. There you are.
Okay.
Okay. Now you have the seat, but I don't know where everybody went.
You're going to have to add them back in.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm okay.
Oh.
Okay. But see, they come back.
Then they come back on the main screen.
Yeah, it's not supposed to be doing that, but I guess I don't know what I'm doing here. So forgive me for this, ladies. There's
Hi.
all right. Well, actually, I should. All right. Okay. You're just going to have to bear with us here. Let me get back to Kimberly. I don't know why it's doing this. I haven't worked with this many people, so it's kind of my fault. So I got to take you back off. And now, Kimberly, there. I'm just going to leave it like this. I don't know why people aren't showing up in the other places. So anyway, Kimberly, you're doing some great work on the planet as well, in terms of being a spiritual guide for people. You're helping them on their spiritual journey, revealing truths that we all need to be aware of. And maybe you might want to tell us, you've written books too, haven't you? I don't know how people write all these books.
Yes, actually, this first book I wrote was originally called Conquering Stress, The Real Fountain of Youth, but I started writing it back in 2011, and it took me 5 years to write it. And then I took it off, I published it. It was a bestseller in 2016, took it off the market, just recently republished it under the name The Real Fountain of Youth, because I thought that was a little more positive. But I've got that one, and then I've got Ascension 101, a roadmap for your soul, which is this lovely little thing, which is basically the quintessential guidebook to making it through the ascension. It's got everything you need to know to make it through these times we're in right now. And it answers everybody's spiritual awakening questions too, like what is God? Who am I? What is my soul? How do I be happy the rest of my life? What is reincarnation? All those kind of things. But basically, I'm just a spiritual teacher, counselor, ascension guide, energy healer. I teach lots of classes. I'm a certified meditation and mindfulness instructor. And I've been actually counseling people unofficially since I was about 12, 13 years of age. People have been attracting to me and dumping their whole life problems on me because I am intuitive. And I was born with a whole bunch of interesting gifts, clairvoyance and clairaudience and different gifts like that. And so I'm mainly here to help with this ascension. My purpose, Victoria is so interesting because the first time I looked at Victoria, I knew right away she was an angel. I knew that right away because I do soul readings for people. When I work with my clients, one of the things I do is I'm able to read their soul and tell them who they are, where they came from, how long they've been on the planet, how many guardian angels and spirit guides they have. But I don't like to spoon feed people answers. My biggest thing on this earth is teaching you all, everybody who's watching, how to be your own guru, because guru is Guru. And I don't profess to be a guru, and I don't want to be guru, because my boss, Yeshua, and my other boss behind me here, Mary Magdalene, they told me I'm not supposed to I'm not supposed to act like a guru, be a guru, or promote guruism, because they said gurus are all bad. They told me that I'm here to teach every single person how to be a free will, sovereign, empowered soul, because Christ said that we will do greater things than him. And he taught us that, we are like gods, basically. We are these avatar bodies, but we have these souls inside of us that go on forever and are really powerful. And we all have the ability to be psychic and to talk telepathically and to have clairvoyance and clairaudience and medium skills. It's just that certain dark entities and beings on this planet took that away from us about 11,500 years ago, and they've been mind controlling us and they took away our free will. They took away everything about 11,500 years ago. And so I'm here to restore the divine feminine to the planet, to hold a space of love for Mama Gaia and help her ascend. I'm here to help humans ascend. I'm here to help animals to heal, people to heal. I'm here to spread unconditional love. I'm here to return and restore the original teachings of Christ and Mary Magdalene. They were twin flames. And I'm here to restore their original teachings, not the ones that were perverted by the CABAL guys, because they changed the Bible hundreds of times over and they rewrote everything. So I'm here to restore all the Essene teachings, because I'm basically an Essene. I'm here to restore the Essene teachings, the truth, to this planet. And the last time I was in a physical body was 2,000 years ago with her. So, and him, You know, I was hanging out with them, and I had the unfortunate, disgusting experience of watching him get nailed to a cross, along with Victoria and several other people that were there with me. We all know we were there. And so we've all come together now in human bodies to bring back the original teachings, to teach the love, kindness, compassion, and forgiveness that he was here to teach. And that's basically it in a nutshell. You know, my plan in the future, when all of the mandate things are gone, is to travel all over the world with Victoria and Sandra and Akura and all these beautiful women. We all of my sisters, we're all going to travel around the world together, and we're going to be teaching ascension concepts to people. We're going to teach people how to connect with God, how to heal their body, how to really fully embody their higher self, you know, all of these different concepts, how to be unconditional love. That is the plan. As soon as all of that stuff is gone worldwide, is to have these ascension conferences with you too, hopefully, Gail, that you will be joining us as well for those conferences. So yeah, because I was told to put together a whole team of my sisters to tour around the world and to teach these teachings, because I'm not here to be a lone wolf. I'm just one part of the puzzle. I'm a small part of the puzzle, but all of the light workers, star seeds, and earth angels that are here are all here with different gifts to bring different things to this planet. And we need to all work as a team, because that's what my boss told me. He said, I will not be successful unless I work as a team and I collaborate with everybody else who is like me. And so that's what we're all here to do, is to help this planet ascend, but we're here to do it as a team and as a sister and brotherhood of ascended souls and ascending souls. So anyways.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's that. You ladies are going to have to tell me how you write so many books. I'd really like to know how to do that. Because I'm going, oh my word. The only one that I had started to write, they crashed my computer, and it was on nutrition, and it was good health through age 120, and I had sent it off to a doctor for endorsement who he worked with a vitamin group and was always afraid that the FDA was going to, well, anyway, within 24 hours of sending that, my computer crashed and I lost everything that I had because I didn't have hard copy of it at the time. So anyway, that was no fun. So, and that's why I haven't done that again at this point. But I've got one question for you, Kimberly, and that is, when you refer to God, are you talking about infinite creator?
I refer to God as prime creator,
prime.
who made my soul. I call him the prime creator. Sometimes I call it Mother, Father, God, who created my soul, because I was told by Yeshua one time, I was praying and I was saying God, and he goes, which God are you praying to? And I go, what? And he said to me, because I've been communicating with them, and when I say them, I say Yeshua, Mary Magdalene, Mother Mary. I've been communicating with them since I was a little girl, and so he said that man has created many gods, and when you just say God, you better be careful, because you don't know which one you're going to get. And so
it's a title.
Yeah, yes. It's a title. So it could be any God. And so that's not who I pray to. I pray to I am that I am, or the prime creator, the one who was and is to come, that made everything, the one that made my soul. Whatever force created my soul, that is the thing that I pray to.
Yes, I get that. That's why I brought that up, because I know that God is really a title, an infinite creator or prime creator. Source is another term that's used.
Source is great. Prime creator, mother, father, creator of everything. You can say mother, father, creator of everything.
Or, as someone used to say, creator of my soul. That's the most important creator. So, which is that who we're talking about. But anyway, thank you. We'll come back to you. Let's bring on, let's see who will come up next. Akura.
Hi.
Hi. Oh, I wonder if, let me see what will happen if I can add Victoria back real quick here, because maybe it's going to accumulate on the bottom here. Nope. Oh, shoot. Okay, let's just go back to the way we were. Sorry, ladies. I haven't worked with groups before, so this is my bad. But anyway, live and learn. So Akura, we've talked many times before. I think you're doing wonderful work on the planet also, and you have uh, a beautiful angelic voice, and you're a psychic medium. And tell us a little bit, whatever you want to share right now, as the other ladies have.
Yes, there's so much going on right now on this planet, so it's very hard to figure out what is really going on. So, and I love it so much to talk in light language and to sing and to transmute all these light codes. Yeah, and I'm a starseed as well.
I think we all are.
Yes, and I love it very much to share my knowledge with the people. Yeah, and all my visions and all what I know from my past lives or from my experiences.
Yes, you've
Yeah.
had some awesome experiences, and I remember the one when you talked about the one in the fourth dimension. That was a scary one. But I was wondering if you've had any recent visions that you might like to share with us.
I'm going to upload this on my YouTube channel soon. I had some dreams a couple of days ago.
Oh,
So, but
okay.
I'm not sure if they are true. So I'm very careful with this information.
Okay. Well, we
Yeah,
appreciate that.
I saw children, crying children, and I saw dams and tunnels, and I saw Ukraine and Czech Republic. I saw countries around Ukraine, but I'm not sure if this is true.
Uh-huh.
hmm
Well, it's very interesting, to
Yeah,
say the
it's very
least.
interesting.
Yes, just even your experience in the fourth dimension with the blue pill, the red pill, that sort of thing, and you combine those
Yeah,
two
that
pills,
it
and you
was
got
very
purple.
weird. Yeah, the purple flame.
So fascinating. And you do consultations with people too, right?
Yes,
Individual.
origin readings most. Yeah, I love it very much to help star seeds.
Oh, so you tell them where they came from
Yes, I see the
originally.
connections. I see their past lives. I see their mission on Earth, and I'm helping them to remember. And I'm guiding them back. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, okay. Now we'll move on to Sandra. Okay, the other Sandra. We have two Sandras, but I call Akura instead of Sandra, because we have Sandra McGillis who led the breath work. So let's see what happens when I bring her on. Oh, she goes down there. How do you like that? I guess I have to take you off and bring you up. This is working so strangely.
It's the Brady Bunch.
Yeah, there you go. Hi, Sandra.
Hello. Thank
I
you for
think
having me.
Oh, I'm glad to have you. And thank you, Kimberly, for telling me about Sandra, because I love your logo, so to speak, is keep it spiritually simple. I like that.
Yeah, it's not behind me today just because I'm in another location, another state. So
That's okay. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do, and what you think about the situation at this time.
well, every time I think I know myself, something changes and I get another blank. Basically, I just came in a little wiser, a little different than other people. I had no idea that it was wisdom at the time. I had an interesting relationship early on in the early 60s with Yeshua and Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene. Mother Mary came later. But it was so taboo to talk about Mary Magdalene at the time because we were Catholic and she still hadn't gotten out of the
She's a
prostitution
prostitute.
ring. Yeah. So I had to keep a lot of things on the down low. And, there's so much going on. I think as we all have so many things in common when we're younger that has brought us to this crossroad of who we are and being able to voice who we are and not worry about getting our heads chopped off. I mean, we may get censored here and there, but we're all overcoming that. But I think one of the things that I bring to the table outside of really coming in, knowing that I was very different than my siblings and my parents, and having to learn to observe and be patient and keep my mouth shut, is really what being empathic is. And, Kimberly was talking about restoring, and I think we have to restore and connect to our empathic selves, because it's really the first way to process and filter information. And we do it not only through our physical sensories that we're told we have, but we're doing them through spiritual sensories that have been programmed out of our grasp, so to speak. But many of us know we had it. How do you know that? How do you feel that? How do you aware of that? How do you have glimpses of that? Those are all your spiritual gifts and more. So, yeah, I mean, I'm evolving every day. And right now with the spirit world being on the quieter side, it's been a little frustrating. So, I say, what do I say about that? It sort of lets being a spiritual being, and I do not like labeling myself as a starseed or a light worker or this or that. I don't like labels, never have. Don't like competition. Just I'll let people do what they need to do, and I do what I need to do, and hopefully we all at the end can get along. But I think that being a spirit, I'm really testing my free will a lot, because I can be a little bit of a rebel. So I have a tendency to talk back a lot to my guides and my higher self, who I call that because they're all me. It's me who's getting all the information, and it's me who's relaying it through my free will. But I think right now we're having a little bit of cloudy weather on information coming in, because there's so much unknown. And I think I'm being told, covert and safety for all of us. But, I'm a mover, I'm a shaker, and, I'm a sexy divine creator. What can I say?
I love that. That's great.
And I just made that up. So whatever.
I'm going to agree with that.
Okay. Thank you, sister.
That's good. Let's see what happens when I I don't understand how this is working. It's really frustrating, to tell you the truth, ladies. So,
hey, we're not worried about it, Gail. You do what you got to do. We're happy to be here. I know that each and every one of these sisters that are on here are just patient, and it is what it is. And the viewers will get what they need. So you just do what you have to do to adjust.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Well, one of the things that I'd like to bring up, we're hearing so many different things today that I don't know whether it's true or not true. I'm trying to get everybody on here so we can at least see everybody. And I don't know how. I think you're in the lead position.
Oops. She removed herself.
As soon as she said someone else was the lead, boom, bye, poof, there went Gail into the abyss.
There I'm back. Oh,
there she is.
Okay. Well, since it keeps coming back to
we
you.
didn't mean what we said about you when you weren't on.
Well, let's do some. Each one of us will. I'll have you say something about what's going on now, that we're all being like you were saying about foggy, Sandra. It's because we're getting information that's true and information that's false, and so it's kind of requiring us to really use our heart center, or our intuition, or our connection with our higher self to do so. Since you have direct experience in that regard, I mean, we all do to some extent, but could you address that further, Victoria? Because not everybody feels as connected to their higher self, but I'm guessing that in time, that's because of the changes that are happening, because of the vibrations going up, that connection is going to be stronger and stronger and more recognizable for people. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. So when I connected with my personality self back in 2010, it was much more difficult. As you see now, so many people now have had their spiritual gifts activated, and that's because we've entered a different realm. So back in 2010, I actually had to have a bridge created between my personality self and my higher self. And I did meet with a woman who created that bridge so that I could communicate more clearly with my personality self. What happened in 2012 is that 3D and 4D converged so that we no longer needed to go from 3D to 4D to 5D, that 3D and 4D were both coexisting. That happened in the middle of 2012. I want to say December 18th, 2012. I remember it actually woke me up from my sleep, the word convergence complete. And that what that did is that it made it possible for more people to be able to activate and recognize their spiritual gifts, where before it was much harder because they had to go up into 4D. Because 4D and 3D now coexist, all those spiritual gifts can get activated because that is where they exist, is in 4D. It's also making it easier now for people to move into 5 because there's not so much work to have to go up through another level to get there. Now we can just easily gravitate from 3 into 4 and then move into 5 more gracefully and easily. So more and more people are starting to be able to communicate with their spirit guides, to communicate with their higher selves, communicate with the benevolent DTs, have their spiritual gifts activated. All of that begins in the 4D, because once we've stepped through that 3D, 4D veil that existed to keep us underneath that third dimension, very dense reality, it's much easier now to move through. Lower 4D is very dark. It's where we do our shadow work. It's difficult to move through. And then once you start processing those shadows and doing the spiritual work and you enter into 4D, it gets much, much lighter and easier to move through. So now people are much more easily able to communicate with their higher self, because once we pop up through that veil of deception, then the spiritual realm is there for us to be able to access. So that's where we are now. Now, with regard to the information that's coming at us, deception and truth are in all things, and it's coming at us from everywhere. So even the people who say they're in the truther community understand a lot of the information coming from the truther community is also not true. So it really requires an ability to tune into our inner guidance and really get clear, tune into spirit, source, God, Yeshua, whoever your guides are, your higher self, your angelics, to be able to get clarification of what is and isn't true. Also, now know that your higher self and the truth is always loving. The easiest way to differentiate is if it feels like fear, it's false. If it feels like love, it's true. It's the easiest way to differentiate between the two. And then ask to be connected to your higher self. Ask to understand. One of the best ways I've found to do that is to get a notebook and a piece of paper, ask your higher self to come through, and then write down what higher self brings in. And you need to create very clear parameters about what is allowed to come through. There is nothing that is allowed to come through me that isn't the truth. Because I stipulate that very clearly. Only the truth, the highest level of truth, is allowed to enter my mind. I command my ego to set aside any expectations and interpretations. I ask that the communication is guided and protected by the angelics. Very, very clear. The only thing that is allowed to enter my understanding is the truth. So it's really easy for me to tell the difference. The other thing that's important for people to understand is right now the angelic realm and the guardians are not giving us a silent treatment, but the information is very limited because they don't want us talking about it. Because as Kimberly and I have said, the walls have ears, our phones have ears, every social media stream we're on, there are spies, so to speak. And so the information we're receiving is very limited right now because they don't want the information getting into the wrong hands. What I'm being told, though, is to trust divine timing in all things, and everything that is intended to be is going to start manifesting in our field. It's just that it's not being fed to us the way that it was a couple of years ago because we were talking too much about it and spilling the beans, so to speak. Does that make sense?
Yes, makes sense. Let's go to, let's see, who's next? Let me add, this is so weird. Okay. There, Akura, would you care to elaborate or expand on that any more where you think things are at?
Yes, I receive a similar information. I get almost no information about the global thing. I feel the same because they're listening. The other side is listening, and it's not the process now. We have to stay centered in our heart and train the connection to the prime creator. This is the global process now, even for us, starseeds and light warriors, that we trust our hearts.
And it's so important for us to network with each other and to stick together. Don't you think that's very important? That's one of the
Yes.
things that the bad guys have done all along. And they definitely stick together, and we
Mhm.
as light workers need to do the same.
Of
Okay.
course, I received the same message. We have to unite. We must work together.
Yes, because it takes us to unite in order to unite even more people.
Mhm.
So we can stand together in unity and make things happen.
Mhm.
Okay. Do you have anything else you want to add about anything in particular?
No, not really. This time is super exhausting. So many energies and the
Oh my
solar
gosh.
flashes. Yeah, it's very strong.
Indeed, indeed. Okay. And okay, we'll move on and ask Sandra. Well, wait, I got to take you off first. Oh, it
Nope.
came up. Well, let's go with Kimberly then. Whoever comes up, it's your turn. Anything that you can offer to the audience that you think will be helpful for them, like any kind of little helpful hints or where you think things are at on the planet right now in terms of spirituality and higher self and all that.
Yeah, so it's kind of interesting that you're talking about this because every time I tried to ask my team what is going to happen, like when is this going to end and when is this going to happen, I just get dead silence. And this has been going on for quite a while. And when I ask them why is it dead silence, what they say is because number one, they say, Kimberly, you have a big mouth and you tell everybody. They say that I tell everybody. I tell I tell my friends. I tell all of the. I wonder where Gail went. She disappeared. Everybody disappeared off of here. This is so weird. I wonder where everyone is. Oh wow, is she coming back? There she is. You disappeared.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyways, so I was told basically that they can't tell me anything because I have a big mouth and I tell everyone on social media everything and I tell all my friends everything when I get news. And that's true. I do because I'm excited and I want to share and I want to help people. But they said that unfortunately, all the bad guys are watching my social media, they're watching my videos, and they're also even listening in to our phone conversations and everything. Like they're listening to everything. The walls have ears, literally. So anytime we talk and we say on this date this is going to happen, then the bad guys can do something about it. So what they told me to do is they said you need to stay in your own lane and play in your own backyard. What does that mean for me? That means teaching people how to ascend, how to do self-care, how to heal themselves, how to make it through all the ascension with all the stuff like in my book and that I work on with my clients, helping people to heal all the stuff that needs to be healed so they can move forward into the ascension. I'm really supposed to be focusing on that. And I will warn all of you that number one, there's several things happening right now that you have to be aware of and you have to do something about. So number one, there's coronal mass ejections off the chart today, tomorrow. Yesterday it really started, and I think kind of the day before. So you may have headaches, you may have nausea, you may have dizziness, you may have out of body experience. You may feel kind of off. Like my husband and my daughter, they're complaining. They're not awake, like we are. And they're complaining, oh, I have a headache. They both had headaches all day. And my husband kept saying, I feel a little off. I feel a little off. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I feel a little off. And I was in my head laughing at them because I can't tell them, dudes, that's from the coronal mass ejections, because they laughed me out of the room and say that's a bunch of woo-woo baloney and da-da-da, even though it's true science. It's actual science that these things are happening and hitting the earth right now. It's all over the news. That's why we have the aurora borealis that's showing up in the northern sky here. And so the thing is when these events happen on the planet, what you all need to do is you need to drink lots of water, try to get as much rest as possible, eat very lightly, eat very organic, holistic kind of diet, really take care of yourself, really love on your temple of the Holy Spirit, which is your body, and meditate as much as possible. Try to stay calm, don't get angry, don't go all nutty or anything. I mean, really try to focus on happiness and peace and staying really, really calm, because that will help get you through all these ascension symptoms that we're going through. We're going through a lot of what they call Schumann resonance spikes that happen. We've got all these things hitting our physical bodies right now, Gail. We have Schumann resonance thing going up and down and all over the place. And then we have the coronal mass ejections. And then we have solar flashes that we've had several of them that raise the consciousness. And then we have just the whole ascension of the planet. And then we have our DNA is being activated from 2-strand to 12-strand. And then we have our physical body being changed from a carbon life form to a crystalline life form. So our physical body, our emotional body, and our spiritual body is basically being dragged through the mud right now. We're being dragged through the ringer. It's like the old-fashioned washing machine where you would wash your clothes and you would take your clothes and you would rub them on that board, and then you would pull it through this wringer thing to wring it out. That's what's happening to us as a collective. The collective is being dragged through the ringer. And in order to make it through without wanting to face punch somebody or going postal on everyone, or in order to make it through this with your equanimity intact and your health intact and not dying of a heart attack, because just so you know, there's a lot of even light workers that are passing away. They're getting cancer, they're having heart attacks, they're having strokes, because they're not doing enough self-care. And all of these energies and things that are happening to us right now are shifting our bodies in such a traumatic way that if you don't do the proper self-care and keep your mind focused on what you want to create in your life, positive things, it's going to make you physically sick. It's going to make you emotionally sick. It's going to traumatize you and stress you out over the top. So it's really, really important for everybody who's listening to do lots of self-care, drinking water, being kind to yourself, being patient with yourself, and understanding that if you're not feeling good, you need to slow the hell down. A lot of us are being forced to slow down right now. And every time I ask, what is going to happen? Like, when's this going to end? When is the war going to end? And they keep telling me, don't worry, we got your back. There's things going on in the background that we don't know about and we don't have any control over, because there's a big chess game going on between all the superpowers, whatever. You've got that 1% of those evil monsters in there. You've got the politicians, you've got the white hats, the alliance, the this, the that. They're all in there working in the background. And then you even have extraterrestrials that are involved in this, and they're working in the background, and all of the things that they're doing, none of us have any control over any of that. So what do you have control over, Gail? You have control over your body, right? You can control your thoughts. You can control your speech. You can control your body. So you want to think positive thoughts. You want to speak positively, and you want to really take good care of yourself. And that's really all we can do right now, because every time you go down the rabbit hole of, oh my God, there's a war, and oh my God, there's more of those things, those poke in the arm things coming out. They just approved the second booster of that, and they're trying to push it through so they give it to babies and little kids, because of course they can't wait to murder all of our little children off the planet. So when you see these things happening, you have to say, okay, well, I don't have control over that. I really don't. So every time I get upset about it, I'm making myself physically sick, because my first book, The Fountain of Youth, is about stress. 98% of illness is caused by emotional stress. So every time you're stressing yourself out over all these icky things happening on the planet, it's making you sick and it's killing you. It's putting you closer and closer to a heart attack, a stroke, cancer, whatever. So you have to just chillax and take care of yourself. It's all you can do. So that's what I have to say about all that.
Okay. Sandra, I'm going to move to you. Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, now I can hear you. When Kimberly was talking, all of a sudden the whole screen went out.
That's
Everything
all.
went out.
I knew we were all in there somewhere.
And when I came back I couldn't hear anything. So
Well, you can hear me now, okay, correct?
yes, I can hear you, but I wasn't
Okay.
able to hear Kimberly, but I asked the audience, they were hearing her. So thank goodness.
Okay.
I guess I'll have to re-listen to my own show to hear what my guest said.
That's okay.
That's pretty bizarre. But anyway, so it's something to do with my system here.
Mhm.
I think they're, I think they're watching me, and they probably don't like us talking about spiritual things.
Why is there
know
people talking
what's
about
going
gross,
on in that regard. But
disgusting
anyway,
stuff in
let's get
the
back to the show.
chat?
Sandra, what is your take on the conversation that just went on that I didn't hear, so I can't respond on it? So maybe
Well,
you can help me moderate.
I said before that, it's been a little quiet. And, when it was getting quiet end of February into March, I had already had so many messages. What was interesting was when it was quiet and I wanted more information, what I got was confirmation of all the information I had gotten from a year ago, a year and a half ago. And I would see it come to fruition. I'd be like, check, like, oh yeah, check. But I don't go into all the information that I get and post it out unless I'm being told to do so by my inner higher power of who I am as a divine being, and of course a seeder and a sexy divine creator. Let's just keep using that word. But we are in so much change, and I learned early on in my life to learn how to not want to get to the next moment, to try to really focus on the now moment. And as difficult as that is, because we're always looking for everything outside of ourselves, so we have to reprogram that. And so honestly, when the information kind of went quiet, it just reminded me of really part of a deeper sense of my own DNA. And that is, I'm one of those that it's on a need to know. I'll know when my guides and the team need me to know, and it's to be announced. And so me jumping around, hemming and hawing, expressing some cuss words don't get me what I want. They just get me more riled up, frustrated, nervous system, out of whack, and then yuck. So I'm very big on understanding what distractions are, and actually getting outside of the current moment is a huge distraction, especially right now, because many of us are here to do big jobs. And in order to do these big jobs, we've got to align our spine and our antennas to the divine Mother Earth, Father Sky, however you choose to use your words. Got to be the strongest we can be. So no matter what winds blow or how hard the raindrops fall or if the earth cracks, we're strong enough to be able to maneuver around, and then also to assist others in the same breath. So for me, I'm okay with the way things are going on right now. I mean, I'm getting a lot of, again, confirmation of little messages I've gotten before. I'm more of my sight is there. I still see my guides. They'll come in through the sky. The orbs will come in. A lot of things will just let me know that, hey, my team is still there, even though things seem kind of quiet. And I just know that I'm where I'm supposed to be in this moment, and zipping up my energy and being the best I can be while I'm in this moment. Because it's all I got, folks. It's all I got. I'm not promised later. So let me do what I need to do now. Let me work on my energies. Let me do the self-care and the nurturing that I need. Let me learn to hydrate in other ways besides water. Through my foods, energetically changing things up, blessing things, working with the children, the laughter, and just letting what be will be, as long as I stay aligned. And then when I'm being asked to take action, I'm ready to take action.
Awesome. And someone in the audience said you were nailing it. So that's really
thank
good.
you.
Yes. Very important.
I
And
don't listen to a lot of people, and I I only post out little mini things or do interviews, but I don't listen to a lot of people. And you know, the whole thing, and Kimberly, I really appreciate you talking about the sun and all the other things too. And I get that that's happening, but my guides just keep saying, don't keep looking at it, waiting for something to change. Work on yourself, focus on yourself. It's another distraction for me. Other people need to know this information and they like to process that type of information. I'm more of a kinesthetic. I filter things through my physical body. So the less incoming static, the better, because I got to deal with the environmental static. So I choose what I take in and what I can process and put out.
Hang on one second.
Okay.
Oh, that disgusting in person is still in the chat.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm just ignoring it. Again, it's a distraction.
Yeah.
God,
I
he's
can't
disgusting.
close one eye this way, but I can try to turn a blind eye. Now, I saw
Yes.
something and I was like, WTF? Like, really? But you know what? And you know, someone else brought up about, you know, being a big mouth and all this stuff. And you know what? It's not even just about that. There's ears and eyes everywhere. I mean, have found like between my computer and my phone and being around others, I'm getting feedback from conversations. I went in to get my eyeglass prescription refilled in a store. And within 5 minutes of leaving the store, I'm getting text messages about contact lenses on sale in other companies.
Oh,
And
I've
I'm
had
like,
that exact same thing happen.
so there's a lot going on with satellites. It's not so much that, you know, all these gremlins are out there listening, but they are. But at the same time, we have a lot of satellite interference, there's a lot of radiation, a lot of things going on. All the more reason to go within and maybe zip it a little bit. Less is more, less is more, less is more.
Okay. I was just looking to try to eliminate either the bot or somebody who's putting up nasty stuff in the chat. It's pretty ugly. And I hope it's off now. I turned off DLive. That's where it was coming from. But anyway, and something's going on. There's no reason why I mean, for a minute there, you guys just totally went away, everything. So, yeah, they're listening. But anyway, that's okay. Maybe they'll learn something. Any guess will appear as they're talking. Okay. No. Okay, let's go back to Victoria. Yes. Oh, great. Now.
No, it's fine. I had myself muted.
Oh, phew. Okay. I was going, oh my goodness, now I can't hear her. But anyway, so let's continue where we left off. This is a distraction for me, so it's been interfering with my line of thinking as I'm trying to, you know, ask questions or what have you. Now, based on what Sandra was saying, do you have anything to add to that, or that you might want to elaborate? That's important right now. Again, we're trying to help the listeners to develop their own system of learning and so on, in raising their vibration. I think raising their vibration, a lot of times people say, raise your vibration, you need to raise your vibrations. And people go, well, how do I do that? Mm-hmm. Kind of thing. And so.
Well, the very first thing anybody can do to raise their vibration is gratitude. Gratitude is like a miracle cure for pretty much anything.
That's true. That's so true.
You know, and I know that's really, really difficult when it feels like the world is falling apart around you. And that's exactly when you need to find it. Mm-hmm. And so there's kind of a misunderstanding that gratitude is like lip service, right? The gratitude is actually an energy. It is visceral energy that can shift everything. It is such a powerful energy that nothing else can exist. So gratitude is one of the highest vibrations of love. When you feel it in your heart, it transmutes everything. Gratitude and complaining cannot coexist in the same space. So,
Oh,
which
wow.
is
That's a good one.
right. So we need to stop looking at everything that's wrong with our world, figure out how to be grateful for everything that we've ever experienced and that we are experiencing, and learn how to be grateful for the future that is coming toward us. We are actually creating new earth right now as we speak. So we need to focus on gratitude for this new world that we're creating. But what happens with a lot of people, they've allowed their minds to get sucked up into this fear-based narrative, this storm of fear that's swirling around us. And because they're focusing on the storm of fear and being in complaining about how things aren't happening fast enough, or complaining how things appear to be, remember that what we see is merely our own perspective of reality. So we've got to shift our perspective. If we can shift our perspective out of fear and out of complaining and out of less thanness and out of what we don't want, and shift our focus to gratitude, then everything in our reality starts to shift. But, I discovered that 12 years ago when I was trying to figure out how to make the law of attraction work for me. There's the big deal. If I remember The Secret, the law of attraction stuff that came out around 2008, and nobody was saying how to make it work. The way to make it work is gratitude. Flat and simple, one word, gratitude, and that will change your life.
I can vouch for that, because I started, when I found out more information about that myself, and how important it is not to complain, and how important it is to project love and gratitude. My life I'm going, oh my goodness, things keep getting better. It's awesome. And it's even proven with Dr. Emoto, with the most beautiful crystals were formed with the water when they had the word love or gratitude written on the jar, or however they froze it. So what you're saying just resonates, and it is very important, and that's one of a really good thing. Well, let's see what Akura might have to add to that, and let's see what happens.
Hello?
No, isn't that
Can
funny?
you hear me?
Yes, I can. I have to take you down then, Victoria. This is there. I don't know why. This is the strangest thing. I'm going to have to talk to these people after that. But anyway, let's go on.
It was so much fun to listen to you. So I was always, I was confirming you all. So it's so interesting to hear all this different information. Thank you very much. There's nothing to say, actually. So it's all said.
Well, okay. See, I missed what, for some reason, my sound was off when Kimberly was talking. And I don't know why. Everybody else was still hearing her, thank goodness, but they shut off my sound somehow. Maybe it was because maybe it was a bot. Maybe it was that bot that was posting all that nasty stuff.
I felt something. Yeah, I felt some energetic attacks. It was very strange. I felt it here in my heart, something. So it was not fun. But it was very interesting to listen to you. But I observed that it felt like this to me. Yeah.
Okay, so you actually felt it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was so busy trying to erase it, and I couldn't keep things going as it were as well. So, have you written a book yet, Akura?
No. Actually, I need still time to rest. So even when it's about 1 year ago, I can't believe it. The time has run so fast. Yeah, but I feel that, so I need time to rest a little bit, and much stuff is coming up as well. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So and I continue with what I love. So, and I love it to sing.
You want to sing a tune? No.
No, not really. No.
No, I didn't think you would. I'm just teasing. So, okay.
Yeah, but it's helping me a lot to speak in that language. Yeah, so it's transmuting the energies, and I feel the codes. So when I start to talk in that language, then it's like I receive the newest codes.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any that you could share at this time, or?
No, not really. Not.
Okay. Okay. Do you feel or notice the change in the vibration of the planet at all?
Yes, I felt this big shift last year as we escaped this crazy density. Then I felt a big shift, and that the energy has changed, even of the sun. That's what I feel. And I feel a big shift again, yes, but I can't translate it.
Well, I felt a pretty big shift just a couple days ago.
Yes.
A very uplifting. I went, wow, I feel wonderful, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so, and I was asking other people, and many people said the same thing, that they felt a shift also. So, anyway, okay. Kimberly, I'm going to come back to you for a minute, and let me see how to do that. It's so strange how this is working, but okay. Nope. I thought that, okay, I guess I have to take you off. Sorry. Nope. There you are. I'm so sorry. I hope I can hear you now. You're not muted, are you?
Oh, I was muted.
Oh
Can
my
you hear me?
goodness. Oh,
Can you hear me?
yes. No, I couldn't hear anything you said, but
Okay,
the
I was
audience
muted.
just,
Sorry.
oh. And you know what? I should be able to see that somehow, but I wasn't able to. But anyway, that's why I wasn't hearing you then. So it wasn't, but the computer did go off completely and come back
Wow.
on when you were
Wow.
talking.
Wow.
You must have
Why-
some power there.
I'm having the worst fashion failure today. I'm wearing this shirt and it just keeps falling off of my shoulders. It's driving me nuts.
I'm sorry. It looks fine though. You look great.
Thank you. Thank you. It's just really hard to find clothing to wear on video camera because it doesn't all show
Yes.
up really. It doesn't show up very
Yes.
good on the camera. You know what I mean? A lot of stuff.
Exactly. There's
So,
there's a lot of things that you can't wear. They look funny.
yeah.
But why don't you tell us what your links are?
Oh, my links.
Yes.
So there's a couple different things. So first of all, my website, if you want to sign up for one of my many classes, I have classes on energy healing. I have an energy healing workshop that covers all the types of energy healing known to man. I've got a guided past life regression. I've got a meditation course on how to meditate properly. I've got a course on how to be your own psychic using a pendulum. Just all kinds of classes, but those are on my website. Also, I do private sessions with people to answer all their questions and help them and guide them on their journey with their life, relationships, career, whatever. Sometimes people come to me and say, where am I supposed to move and when? I mean, all kinds of, pretty much any question goes. Except I tell people that I can pretty much answer just about anything except the stuff about what's going to happen in the world, because they're not telling me that. I can answer personal questions to people about their life and them and their family. The only thing I can't do that's personal for people is I'm not a psychic medium, so I don't talk to dead people. So if they want me to talk to their dead relatives, that's not going to happen. I don't do that. But my website is spiritualgrowthjourneys.com, and it's journeys with an S. So the word spiritual and then growth journeys, all one word.com. And then on Facebook, I have a spiritual growth journeys group, and you can request to join my group. And I vet everybody who comes into that group. So I'm going to go and check you out on your Facebook and see if you're a nice person, or if you're a bot, or if you're the bad guys, or who you are, because I've had several Satanists try to join my group and I blocked them. I've had voodoo people try to join my group and I blocked them, because it's a safe place for people to learn spiritual information from me and from people like Sandra and Akura and Victoria. They all post in my group. And so if you want to come and learn from all of us ladies and the other teachers and light workers and healers in my group, you can request to join Spiritual Growth Journeys on Facebook. And as long as you're a nice person, you'll be in my group.
Okay, let's go to the other ladies and we'll ask them what theirs is. So this is always fun. We'll see who comes up. Sandra, your turn. Why don't you give us
I will. Thank you.
Okay.
I have a website, and it's www.embodimentofthesoul.com, embodimentofthesoul.com. And that a name was gifted to me by an ancient shaman friend of mine. And it's really healing from afar that feels right at home. And that header was from the High Council Palladian of Six. So it's a co-created website with my guide team. And I only really offer two things: embodiment of the soul, which is a combination of regression and different things to help people bring themselves all into one and get to know their soul and let the soul get in the driver's seat. And then advanced Reiki. I have a multitude of Reikis, but I'm not as talented electronically, so I don't have a book out yet or classes out yet. At some point, I will. When Spirit says it's time, they'll connect me with someone who is kind and gentle in teaching this old dog some tricks on technology. But yeah, embodimentofthesoul.com, and my Facebook is also embodimentofthesoul.com. And I combined my names a couple years ago to Mick Ellis, so it was a unique name to me. It came through back in 2000, and then again in 2014, and then again in 2021. So you can look up Sandra McEllis as well on Facebook and join both as well. So thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay. If you put a link in the private chat like Kimberly did, and I'll put it up in the chat. Okay.
Sure.
And let me bring on Akura. We didn't get your links and so on. And oh, interesting. Now I don't hear you.
I'm muted. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It was me. I have an Instagram channel. It's called official.akura, then a TikTok channel, which is called official.akura, then Facebook. It's called Akura YouTube. I can't pronounce it in English for real, and even not my website. It's Psychic Medium, and then this line, akura.com.
Okay. Let me put that. If you'll put your link in the private chat, just like I did for the other ones did, and I will put it up. And now we're back to Victoria. If I can get you up. Okay, good.
I unmuted myself first this time.
Okay. I bet you that's what happened. That's why I couldn't hear Kimberly. I think she must have been muted. Everybody else heard her though, so that's a good thing. But anyway, there's a quick question I got for you, because for some reason I'm thinking you might know this, and well, the others too. But they're saying that we're supposed to be hit with all kinds of CMEs, coronal mass ejections. There's a lot of that coming in. What do you is that information, is that going to be a good thing for us, or what do you have any comments on that?
Yeah, you know what? I'm actually very sensitive to solar flares, so I know when they're happening. They tend to make me a little nauseous when they're coming through. I've never had any negative reactions to them, other than I just recognize them coming through. So for me, it's always, but see, I do this anyway. I drink a ridiculous amount of water every day. I only eat pure foods. I don't eat crap. Nothing that isn't natural and organic goes into my body. So I think it's really important, yes, if you're going to be processing these. So what they're actually doing, this is light that's coming in. We're also getting an increasing number of G waves. I used to call them God and Goddess waves. They're creation waves. They're gamma waves. That's actually what they've been trying to block with the chemtrails, is to block the gamma waves from coming in, because what they're doing is they're activating our spiritual gifts, and they're actually, another word for them is ascension waves. So we're getting bombarded with more and more ascension waves. The easiest way to process them, because they're actually good for us, they're actually changing our body, is to go with them and drink a lot of water to help process them, take hot baths, showers, steam rooms, saunas, anything. I find water It really, really helps with that. If you live by the beach, go for a walk in the water, wash dishes by hand, allow water to be a part of the process because it helps it move through with greater grace and ease. So water is a big part of the process, internally and externally. So does that help?
Yes, I think that's what people needed to hear. And that's what I was hoping you would say. Okay.
I
So,
don't know how many of these I drink a day.
okay. If you'll put your link in the private chat, I will add it to the chat over and people will see it. So we have your link.
Mine is easy. It's
Okay.
VictoriaReynolds.com.
Oh, that is easy. Okay.
And the name of my show, I have a YouTube show. The name of my show on YouTube is Fearless and Free.
I like that. I saw that, fearless and free. That's what people need to be, is fearless, and to eliminate that fear energy, because it is a very low vibration and it reduces people's immunity and everything else.
Well, we've been living in a fear-based reality for between 11 and 12,000 years. So every choice, every decision we make is unconsciously based in fear until we consciously choose to base it in love. So fear is the default. We just have to learn to recognize it.
Wow. That is, okay. Sandra's on YouTube too. She wanted to mention that. So I put that up as well.
Yeah. So all of the ladies here have YouTube channels.
Yes.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody's you can just look up their name and you'll find their YouTube channels.
And then I wanted to let people know I have a free book on my website. If you go to my website, I have Rise Up, which is it's a simplified guide to what's happening on the planet right now. So people can go and get the free book. Although I do have to put a disclaimer right now that the autoresponder is not working. So if you try to get my free book and you can't figure out why you're not getting it, send me an email and I will email it back to you. So the autoresponder link isn't working right now, and I have somebody working on that. But you will get the free book. You just might have to email me and ask me for it.
Okay.
It works for some people, not for some people. If it doesn't work for you, it's not you. It's the website.
Okay. Well, this has been awesome. I think we've covered just about everything. I don't know if, why don't we leave with a little, maybe some more breath work or something. Would you be interested in doing that for us, Sandra? Okay. Well, I'm going to bring Sandra on and she's going to close off and then we will call it a wrap for, and I can't thank you enough for sharing such wonderful information. And I hope people really like it, and I'm sure they will. So now I have to take you off. I have to put this in. Let me put this up. Hang on there. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Okay.
Someone in the chat asked what my YouTube channel is. It's Spiritual Growth Journeys, just like my website and my Facebook group.
Okay. That was Kimberly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Spiritual. Yeah. Somebody said, what is Kimberly's YouTube? It's Spiritual Growth Journeys. And you'll know it's got like 8,700 or something subscribers, but yeah.
Okay. Let me bring back, there she, oh, it's so fun making these go all over the place. It's not working like I expected, but anyway, nonetheless, carry on. And Sandra had offered to do the initial breath work, and she's also offered to do the closing for everyone. So I hope you have all taken note of these wonderful women and their websites and their YouTube channels. It's a great place to go. Just listening will help to raise your vibration. And so go ahead, Sandra. The floor is yours.
Okay, so everybody, your breath is it's free to you to use in however you choose. Use it to empower yourself. It resets your parasympathetic nervous system, which slows the heart rate down, slows the breath down, but also expands the lungs. So oxygen and blood flow increase. So if we learn to just simply stop, drop, sit, and connect with deeper inhales and exhales, we can help to reset that within 3 to 4 breaths. I always say do at least 6 to 10, whether you're in the car, whether you're at your desk, whether you're about to walk into a hectic situation, whether it's the grocery store, or you just want to align anywhere so that you're cleaning your energy. Cleaning your energy is super important because you don't need to take your crap into somebody else's environment. It's not cool. So let's just start with just taking some nice deep breaths in and out. And as you do that, I'm going to just see what comes through. Let's just take a nice deep breath through your nose and pause and out through your mouth. And we'll do this for a moment or two. O oshi o ma'asi shinu o me ese anarama. Olo oshi ni'i asa o ma'asi shu o ama'ala. So oro krisini ara ma'a so riashini. Sho ola ama'ila o korsanini mayasi shu o ma'a. Stay in your breath. Bring yourself into your heart center. Feel yourself just smile. Appreciation of all beautiful things around you. And understand that light language is a vibrational energy that comes in that has meanings of different things long before there were words and syllables and language, so to speak. So everything on this earth has a vibration and has a light language unique to itself. And if we can tap into ours through our heart and through our breath, you can listen to actually the world begin to sing in this symphony of just beauty. So much love to each and every one of you, and thank you for joining us. And Gail, Kimberly, Sandra, Victoria, it's been an honor and a pleasure to be here with each one of you beautiful soul sisters. It just makes me teary-eyed. It truly does. I'm honored. I'm truly honored. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sandra. I couldn't agree more. And thank you, everyone. Thank you, Victoria. Thank you, Akura. Thank you, Kimberly. And thank you, Sandra. It's been a pleasure. This was wonderful, and I hope it helps people. And thank you so much for sharing. Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
We'll stand. We'll stand. We will stand. Standing tall.